All right. So the land was corrupted in Sodom and Gomorrah. Not even a few were found righteous, and the whole city was destroyed. Okay. So put it to bed that they were destroyed for all immorality, similar to what they had in Noah's time. And Jude says it was because of sexual immorality. Ezekiel says it was because of immoral behavior and not feeding the poor, which is all part of what Paul said. That's how the end days are going to be. It's the same thing. Jesus said in the days of Noah, it's going to be the same thing. Days of Sodom and Gomorrah, it's going to be the same thing. So if you combine those two periods that Jesus mentioned, is how the end time is going to be. And then that's how it's going to get destroyed, but not with a flood this time. Okay? And and then so then we move on to the Benjamites. All right. So God has judged all these nations, right? He has, all this wicked abomination. You have Jezebel's time, you have Ahab's time. I go through that of their perversion. She castrated men, made them eunuchs, that later 3 of them just threw her off the balcony and killed her. But it went through in Revelation where the church is mentioned. And so I'm going to talk about that real quick. So during that time, people just continue to do evil. And so they were also, the Lord was saying in Deuteronomy, they're giving their children over to Molech. So I want you to destroy them and spare nothing. And what they did in Molech's time was they would put these babies on the platform that was sizzling cooking. And this is accurate, and it would burn the babies. And they would play music so loud so the parents wouldn't hear their babies scream. And a lot of times they rip the babies apart. Okay, now fast forward to our time, Roe v. Wade, everything else. How do you do an abortion? All right, how do you do an abortion? You chemically burn the baby, or you rip it from limb. And the way the devil hides it, so the devil wants to be bold. He wants it to be done like Molech. But, if people saw that this day, a lot of them wouldn't care, but it would cause an outrage, right? Goody two-shoes, it would call it an outrage. So now he does it behind closed doors, right? And he does it the same way, but just inside the womb, and then trying to make people believe, well, there's just a lump of cells in there. And they don't want to show you ultrasounds. They don't want to show you what a baby looks like in the womb. And they want you to think that inside the womb, there's no baby, and the womb is a magical chamber that 2 seconds later, when it comes out of the womb, it's magically a baby. So it wasn't a baby in the womb. Now it's a baby outside the womb. And coming through the passage of the womb, it's a magical chamber that turns it into a baby. And then when it comes out, voila, it's a baby. But, 20 seconds ago, it wasn't a baby. It's just a lump of cells. But not knowing that they ripped the arm off, they ripped the leg off, or they chemically burned the baby, right? That's what Satan did back then. God destroyed those nations that did that. God destroyed the people that did that. Even some Israelites, a lot of Israelites did that. Israelites sinned just as well. And the example that God has given with the chosen nation of Israel, and I'll talk about the chosen people, but the chosen people of Israel, he chose to separate apart and say, these are my people, and I want to separate them, and I want to show you how to live, how to worship God, how to honor God. And there's still people among the ranks that would still sin and commit abominations. And they would give their children over to Molech. Other nations would and they would mate and mingle and intertwine with these nations, and they would sin, and God would destroy them. So even all through Judges, wicked king, destroy the people, judge the people, good king, wicked king, good king, up and down, and get destroyed, not get destroyed. And so all this stuff is evil. So notice how, and it's just an observation, notice how the liberal side of it, the left, we call them the left people on the left. So they're all about LBGT, the alphabet community. They're about all that. But they're also 100% in abortion. Again, going back to the immoral people. the abominations that they commit. Well, that's all of them, right? And I also went through the list of what God hates, right? Sowing discord, breaking up the unity, haughty eyes, being proud, right? And all these people are proud that they don't consider them human, right? They don't consider babies human. So their immorality has no limit. The immorality has no limit. So it's the same people that are doing that. And then you have people that are in the middle that are the compromisers, right? These are the Christians that says, I could be a Democrat and kill babies. I could still be a Democrat and do that, right? And be a Christian and still go to church and worship God. And no, you can't. You can't be a compromiser. You can't be in the middle. God judges those people. Don't think that you're going to get away with it. Don't think that you're going to get judged. And more so, the people in his chosen people. And so the people that are going to church, the people that are the tares among the wheat, that think that they compromise. It says, well, we can compromise on abortion, maybe with just incest and the few exceptions. We can kill babies at that time, right? That's the compromise. That's what the devil wants. So the devil takes the marry and be fruitful, multiply, to same sex, get rid of the babies, right? Now, if you do have babies, let's give them over to Molech, right? And the scripture says what happened when people gave their children over to Molech. They were judged and they were destroyed, and they went to eternal fire. They're going to eternal fire.